Hello and welcome back to the Apprentices One-to-One podcast. It's me, Mark, and I am here today to speak about the Domestic Electrician Apprenticeship that TESP have just shared on social media. It's now actually going ahead, it's been approved, it's been through that government process where they have actually decided this is definitely going to be a thing. And I know there's lots of you within Apprentice One-to-One who have been waiting on that to see quite what was going to happen, because there's lots of you who are with domestic employers and you're having real difficulty getting the experience with containment and other such parts of a normal apprenticeship, if you like, the traditional route that you would need to complete that training. And indeed, we've helped quite a few of you in attaining that. But realistically, that's a really difficult thing to keep doing, and obviously there's far more people who haven't been able to access that than has, and that's just the reality of things. And I know from speaking with lots of you, you want to work in the domestic sector, you want to be involved in renewables, within EV charging, working in smart homes, all of the exciting and brilliant things we've got building in that particular area of industry. And I guess that's why I've been inputting into that process. So I've had dialogue with TESP, I've engaged on social media, I've tried to offer my input and thoughts on things, and obviously there's a wider pool of people right across industry, from small contractors all the way up to big national companies such as British Gas, for example, who've done exactly the same and more. And yeah, there's just a lot of misinformation that's been circulating this week. People who've been gleefully waiting to pull this down as some sort of de-skilling attempt, when the reality is much of industry has finally been moving away from short course training. So we've had the Rogue Trainers campaign that's been pushed forward by TESP. We've had a change in the EAS document about what actually is a qualified electrician in terms of enrolling onto a CPS's register. And now we've got these defined routes of training in terms of an apprenticeship. Excuse Cooper here, he's otherwise engaged doing something far more fun than talk about electrical matters. And yeah, I think it's something that we should all get behind, something that we should all be involved in that discussion. There's all of this nonsense that carries on all of the time where people get a big stick and bash industry bodies, usually for effect or from a bad experience of their own with that organisation. It could be that they haven't met the criteria to enter and get the grade card they wanted, or that they've been removed from a CPS's register, or even denied entry into that CPS. It's a small group of people, but they consistently and very often raise that poisonous outlook, rather than entering into discussion and debate with people in a polite and respectful manner and engage with the voices behind lots of these initiatives. They have asked for our opinions and consultation in all of this. They reached out to industry and asked what we think, asked how we saw things, is this something that's going to be beneficial and helpful, and gave us an opportunity to input into that. So yeah, do your research on this, ask your colleges and training providers. It's not currently launched, it's still going to have the meat on the bones put onto what's actually going to go into existence. But it is a 3-year programme, it is focused entirely on the domestic sector. There is extra training around EV, smart homes and solar panels. It's going to help loads of employers who I speak with within Apprentice One-to-One who can't currently hire apprentices because they don't have the work scope needed to complete that training. It is a roadblock to lots of employers, that's a fact. And also learners who want to just work, the domestic market is vast, want to work in that area. And this is the first step. There is wider industry consultation on the traditional apprenticeship right now. There's going to be other initiatives, I'm sure, around all of that. And there's going to be further requests for us to input our ideas into that. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there for you guys and girls who follow what Apprentice One-to-One is up to and take interest in what's available to you as an option in your training. And this is an exciting thing that I think is coming, hopefully within the next year or so, as something that people can enrol on as a training option. And yeah, I see the benefits in it, and I'm sure there will be bumps that need ironing out. There'll be things that maybe haven't been taken into account and things that come up, as with anything that is new. And whilst that is put forward in a respectful way towards those who are behind all of this, my experience of them is, thanks Cooper, that will be gratefully received. So yeah, please choose your sources wisely. There are some people who are blinded by their own experiences within the industry, and it isn't a factual representation of what is actually going on. There's not some big conspiracy, there's not some wider industry activity to devalue what an electrician is. It's just another option in the burr for training, and it's a far cry from the decade and more long short course scandal that I opposed when Part P first came into its existence in 2005, because I even had someone suggest today that in challenging some of this misinformation around all of this, I'm doing the same as what the people did who threw mud at those who stood up against Part P and the short course domestic installer, when that is exactly the opposite of what I did. I actually left a CPS body and moved somewhere else at my objection to short course training. That is the facts of what I actually did. And yeah, I see this as a good thing. I just wanted to put that out there on the Apprentice One-to-One podcast. It is frustrating when I've had these accusations at a personal level as well, and it is just a really small group of people, and they do it very often, and I really should pay much less attention to all of that. Thankfully, some of them have blocked me, so I haven't seen the extent of the things they have been sharing, but I'm aware it's out there. And yeah, just look at what people do, not what they say they do. I have no involvement with the ECA, I'm not a member. I have no involvement with TESP, I'm not a member. I have no involvement with the NIC, not a member. We're not a JIB registered company. I am a simple electrician, very simple one, with his gold card and 20 plus years of experience, and the observations and experience I've got from discussing things within the apprenticeship system through the community of apprentices, employers and lecturers on Apprentice One-to-One, on LinkedIn, on YouTube and further afield. That's it. There's no agenda here, there's no conspiracy here, and I just share and experience the day-to-day going on of social media. It's trolling, essentially. Some of the people within TESP have been trolled over this, and yeah, I don't want to be a part of that. I want to be behind and involved with the discussion at the coalface of industry and help to make things better for people in the future. If you want any further advice and information, me and Neil did record a podcast with Craig Boost, who's head of department at Walthamstow College, about the domestic electrician course and what's been suggested. You can go and check that out on the Spark Show. We're going to do some further content on that, hopefully with representatives of those working within TESP, where we can really bust those myths and get to the key facts behind all of this. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next episode of the Apprentice One-to-One podcast, when Craig and Jamie will be back with me. You can see Cooper's got rather bored in waiting for me to stop this nonsense, and he's chewing up sticks after having a little swim in his favourite swimming spot. So I'll carry on my wander with him. See you all later.